Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of One Piece Manga Chapter 856, Liar. Now sorry the review's a day late on this one. It was just because the new 12 Beast chapter came out yesterday, surprisingly. And just a lot of stuff that I wasn't really expecting, and I got super busy. So, well, you have it now. So let's go through and talk about this one part by part. I actually was a little bit disappointed with this one, just to tell you a little bit where I stand at the beginning, but just going through part by part. The Frankie cover was okay. You guys know I'm not usually a huge fan of the, not a huge fan of, what are they called, the request covers. They're just kind of whatever most of the time. We start off in the mirror world, and none of the mirrors see Luffy and Sanji, of course. Nami then remembers the place where they fought, again, of course, and Jinbei knows that the wedding is a trap. He kind of hints at it to them, and he says that he saved Peckham's off screen. Now, that is a little bit disappointing, honestly. We could have had it revealed by Peckham showing up that he saved Peckham's, or we could have just done something else with that. I feel like just saying, oh yeah, I saved him off screen was a bit of a lame reveal. I think there were a million ways that could have been done better. Then we see Bobbin is actually shot in the street, and I didn't even catch that in the live reaction, but Bobbin is shot. He's just catching the eternal L's left and right. And it seems as though he may have been shot by Capone, which is interesting if Capone is a traitor. To me, that's the most important thing this chapter rather. Is Capone a traitor? Because it'll be really awesome if the climax of this arc is going to be like Team Straw Hat versus Big Mom versus the Vinsmokes versus the Fire Tanks in like a fatal four-way, by God. So I think that would be a really interesting way to do that if Capone is like, I'm one of the worst generation, let me go ahead and take my shot against Big Mom from the inside. That would actually be really cool for the arc. That would increase my hype for this arc quite a bit, even though I'm already liking where we're heading. So then in the 6th floor guest room, we see the Vinsmokes drinking, just being asshats, not really anything important here. Montdor does say that he has them surrounded and under surveillance though, so we see that again Big Mom is like, there's nothing they can do before this wedding. Then Sanji finally finds Luffy and finally gives him the food. I think it was really well done how it completely mirrors what was done with Luffy and Sanji's mom. It completely mirrors the scene where Sanji brought his mom the food that had been destroyed in the rain and the dog had gone after and everything. It was way weaker of a scene, but it was still cool, and I'll explain why in a bit. Now, Sanji gives his reasons that he needs to stay here. He attacked his captain. He has Zeph, who's been taken hostage pretty much. And he feels like he can't let his family die, which is real kindness. It's like him wanting... I see it almost as people who are in abusive relationships where they're like, I want the best for the person who's abusing me because I want to stay with them. I feel like I can make them change. I feel like I can help them, can save them. I feel like it's almost that way with Sanji, where his family was terrible, but he still feels like he can save them, he can fix them. So I think that Sanji is just that kind of very kind person here. Then Luffy, of course, punches him, and we have a really weak emotional moment. I think it was supposed to be this big, strong, I want to live Robin moment, but I think one of the reasons it was weak, I'll give the two reasons. At the end, Luffy just says, okay, we'll wreck the wedding together, and then we have a break after a weak chapter this week. But the two reasons I thought this scene with Luffy and Sanji was kind of is because we've seen this scene 1,000 times before. We had Robin's I want to live moment, Momonosuke's I want to take down Kaido moment. There was another one that I thought that was similar. Oh yeah, Vivi, I want you to help me, Luffy, that save this country or whatever, that moment. We've had the same exact scene done multiple times throughout One Piece, so it kind of lost a bit of its effect there. And another reason it lost a bit of an effect is because this has been dragged out for 4 or 5 chapters now, where it would be one thing. It would have been a great chapter if we had a chapter where Sanji decides, okay, I need to go save Luffy. He makes this journey to Luffy, gives him the food, and then we have this emotional scene. That would have been a beautiful and emotional chapter. But we drug it out so much that everybody's like, okay, next week will be the reunion. Okay, next week will be the reunion. Okay, next week will be the reunion. Then we finally get here and it's like, we've known that this scene was going to happen for weeks. It wasn't surprising. It wasn't new. It was just something that we were waiting to go ahead and get done with at this point. So, yeah, I think that was the biggest problem actually, is that it's been dragged on way too long, that we've known it was going to happen but haven't seen it yet. And another problem, that it could have been great if they like mirrored and framed the chapter so that the chapter was almost exactly panel for panel like the chapter where Sanji brought the food to his mom, and Oda could have totally done that. He did that to an extent a little bit here, but they could have exactly mirrored it and it would have been really awesome. But instead it was dragged out for weeks and just too long. It was like 1, maybe 2 chapters at the most was all we needed to know of Sanji on his way to see Luffy and seeing Luffy. We didn't need it for this long. So yeah, there was nothing really too good or shocking this chapter. Everything was sort of stuff that we'd seen before, and everything important that did happen, say Bobbin catching L's getting shot, or say Peckham's being saved by Jinbei, Nami and them going to try to find Luffy and Sanji. All of the real important things this chapter happened off panel, everything that we found out about, things like that. So yeah, except for the reunion, everything important happened off panel, and even then the reunion was a little bit too late at this point. We've seen it coming for weeks now. So yeah, I still, even that said, I don't want to give this a below average score because I still think it was a little bit above average for manga as a whole. I'm just going to give it 5.5, 5.5 soggy bentos out of 10, just because I want to give it a little bit above average, but it was just there was nothing real important or shocking that happened. So either way, meh chapter, and we're having a break after a meh chapter, which is a little bit disappointing as well. Though we haven't had a break in a little bit of a while, I don't think. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did like the video. Comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this chapter, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more One Piece, both anime and manga, and a ton of other things on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there on stuff for the channel. That is it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.